Hey, badass business owners, welcome back to the show. It is the final in our series on the EMyth Revisited. And if you haven't listened to any of the other episodes, that's okay. I'm not going to have my feelings hurt. Okay, maybe just a little bit, but they are over the last couple of weeks. Today, what I want to do is I want to wrap everything up and I want to hit on the key points that I hope you walk away with from the book. So this one, if you listen to nothing else, please at least listen to this one because I think there's still some nuggets that you can get out of this. Once again, the EMyth Revisited by Michael Gerber is one of the top recommended books for small business owners like yourself, which is one of the reasons why we took a deep dive into it. And there are some really good nuggets that if you pull out one or two of the ones that I'm going to highlight today, I really think that you're going to find that you're going to be able to level up your business even just a little bit. And it's going to create some great momentum for you to at least, if your business is like a staircase where each time you take a step up, you improve, a step up, you improve. That's really what we want to try to get today is let's just find a way to get you to take another step up or two on that rung of success of this business that you're building. You know, one of the things about the EMyth that I think everybody kind of knows, and even if you've never connected the EMyth to this saying, believe it or not, it came from it. And that is, we all know that we spend way too much time working in our business and not enough time working on our business. And we know that saying and we know we should do it, but there's something that always keeps us or prevents us from doing it. And it's kind of like the struggle to carve out that time or that discipline to be working on the business. And in the book, he really dives into why that makes such a difference and how impactful it will be if you do it. But more importantly, most people don't know what it even means. I mean, what should you be working on? Okay, fine, I carve out an hour. What should I be doing? What matters? And that's one of the keys that are in the book to be able to help with that. But honestly, it's more than just working in and on the business. It really is about creating that same picture. It's about building a bridge from where you are today to where you want your business to be tomorrow. We all have this vision that we think our business is going to become, but what happens is, when we first start out, we have it's a lot more clear, if you will. When you're starting your business, you're like, I'm going to be a badass and I'm going to create X, Y, or Z. And then what happens is over the course of getting the business going, and then in your first few years, you kind of get lost and you just kind of you're living in that business 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week with really no place to go other than survival. And if you happen to be in your business right now today and you are in that survival mode, because it could be you're surviving because your business is not doing well and you're trying to survive. It could be that you're swimming in so much business that you're just trying to survive and not drown because of the flood of business you're in. It's always about survival. Okay. You're either surviving not to fail or you're surviving because you're successful. And the problem is we lose focus of what it is we were trying to build in the first place. And it really just brings us back to one of the things you want to do is, are you living the life you expected you would live if you built your own business? And part of what he wants you to do is try to figure out going, hey, are you living for the business or is the business helping you live your life? And what happens is we get up every day, we hit the alarm, we brush our teeth, take a shower, do whatever, because we have to go to work, as opposed to, having the ability to be flexible or do whatever the case may be. And is the business running at the degree we always dreamt we wanted it to be? So if you go back in time and you think about what it is that you wanted the business to look like, where is it today compared to what that was before? So one of the things you want to do is you want to kind of stop a second and say, hey, when I do look at the business in 3 years, 4 years, what do I see the business looking like? And what do I see my role in that business? Do you see yourself working these 50, 60, 70, 80 hours? Do you see yourself being the one that's on your knees installing the carpet? Do you see yourself as the one who's ringing up at the register every single day? Whatever role you're playing currently in your business, is that what you see for yourself in 3 years? Now, for some of you, you totally have this goal that you want to be a one-person shop, whether it's today or 3-5 years from now. You have no desire to have any employees. That's okay. There's some of you that want to have teams of 3 or 4 or maybe even of 20. That's okay as well. But no matter whether you're a solopreneur, 3 or 4 or 10 or 20, I can tell you, no matter what, you have to embrace the central theme core of the book, which is about processes and how it keeps you from running ragged all over the place, and how having these processes in place make your business smoother, more smoothly. And it also helps you with where you're spending your time and your critical time. And it helps reduce waste. It helps reduce cost. At the end of the day, it all adds to the bottom line of your business. And that's really what we want to do. So the goal is, how do we get your business to run like clockwork? All right. And I will tell you, it's not just what he tells you in the book. If you go talk to some of the most successful small business owners out there, they will all tell you it is about having good processes in place. If you go to any big box retailer or any large company, they're going to tell you the way they survive is because of the processes they have in place. You cannot have multiple locations or a large business with lots of people without having processes in place, because then it would be just like having a bunch of chickens all running around with their heads cut off, doing whatever willy-nilly what they want to do and nothing ever getting done. So once again, whether you're by yourself or you have employees, you got to have processes in place. You know what? From how customers are going to find you, how you set up their appointments, how you ensure they get the same service over and over and over, how the quality of the job is the same over and over and over. At the end of the day, we want our customers to have that same experience. Yeah, it might sound boring, the same thing over and over, but to a customer, that's exactly what they're signing up for. That's what they want. You know what? Every time you go into your favorite place you love to go to, I'll guarantee you, one of the reasons that you love it is because you get the same experience every single time. All right. Whether it's a food place and you get the same customer service and the same quality of food, or it's some other place that you love to go to because they're just going to have what it is that you want. If you love going to Best Buy, for example, if you walked into Best Buy and all of a sudden they started selling shoes, you'd be like, well, I didn't go to a shoe stop. I went to an electronics place. What the heck? So you can see where people go to any place because they expect the same thing wherever they are. And the reason that they can be successful, once again, it comes down to processes. And one thing we did not cover in any of the past chapters, I'm not going to dive into it right now, but he does have a chapter towards the end of the book where he talks about the selling system and how you have three parts, from getting the lead, getting them to reaching out to them, getting them on the phone, setting up the appointment, during the appointment, and closing the deal. So there is a whole section on that, on scripts, because at the end of the day, scripts are also part of a process. And there's a lot of businesses that swear by them. And people that end up having those larger crews of 10, 15 people on their team, call centers, they end up with having a lot of scripts because you have a high turnover when it comes to people that have to get on the phone and do those things. So scripts are a big thing. So it's definitely a chapter you want to look at if you are looking at how to streamline your process. He also talks about knowing your numbers, and I talk about that all the time. Matter of fact, next week we go back to normal, and every Thursday we try to dive in a little bit into your numbers and knowing them. And that's all part of having a process in place, because the process is the numbers, is understanding and knowing. He takes it a step deeper than what we have in the past, but he talks about, how many phone calls did you have, and how many phone calls, knowing for how many phone calls does it take to lead to one prospect that you can actually go out to their house on. And then from there, how many times are you going to close that one? I mean, he gets uber into the nuts of that. And you're going to find that service-based businesses that do service calls, they are really big on that, especially your big ones that you see out there. It's all about the numbers, and that's how they turn it. And that's how they are able to expand into so many markets, is because they've got this down into a science. The other thing he talks about, a lot, and I've always talked a lot about McDonald's, and he talks a lot about McDonald's as well. McDonald's has perfected this whole franchise prototype. They have almost 4,000 locations, and it's all been because McDonald's isn't about the hamburgers, it's about the process and people having the exact same experience, whether they're doing it in California, they're doing it in Kansas, they're doing it in Hong Kong, they're doing it anywhere. McDonald's has the same way of doing it, so you get the exact same experience whether you're traveling or you're going from state to state or country to country. And you really can learn some great lessons for how they make it so simple, stupid, if you will, because McDonald's is famous for hiring people for their first jobs, and they can't afford to have the hiccups of people learning their job. They have to make it to where any newbie can come in and take over that role, and that customer never realizes that they're as green and rookie as they are. So you have to ask yourself, is your business set up the same way? So whether you're one person or you're multiple, it's all about the process. And the franchise model, when he talks about it, if you read nothing else in the book, it's a very strong, powerful chapter to really understand that whole franchise prototype and how you can make your business be more systematic, if you will, so that way you can do it. If you're going to have some employees, don't be afraid of those checklists, descriptions, manuals, different things that really put it into place, what your expectations are and how things should be done. You're going to find that as you start bringing on people, they're going to constantly be interrupting you and interrupting their job because they want to know what to do next or what do they do if. Well, guess what? If you have those down in checklists, descriptions, and manuals, they'll know exactly what they should be doing next. They should know exactly how to handle certain situations, and it frees up time because they can stay working and they can stay on track, and they don't have to stop you from what you're doing to stop and have to go backwards. It's all about training people, and it's all about onboarding them the right way the first time. He doesn't really talk a lot about that piece, but that is a system all in its own. Actually, he does it in one section, but that's a whole system on its own. You've got to spend that time up front, hiring the right people, onboarding them correctly, and having the processes and the tools that they need to be successful, and spending all that time up front so that you don't have to constantly be living the same year over and over with them or having that high turnover. Because trust me, employees don't want to know what's not going on either. They get frustrated and they leave and they go somewhere else. So it's important as their supervisor that you have that stuff in place. The toughest thing about all of this, honestly, is about you stepping out of your comfort zone. It's easy for you to just jump in, dive in, and do what it is that you do. It's easy for you to be the technician, the doer. It's difficult to learn these other parts of the business that you really need to learn. And what happens is so many people get caught up in the trap of doing just the doing of the business. They don't find the time to work on the business because they don't feel comfortable working on marketing or emailing customers to stay in touch, bookkeeping, understanding their business numbers. So when it gets uncomfortable, they go right back to the doing. And I'm telling you, you have to live in your uncomfort zone. If you want to grow as a person, if you want to grow as a leader, as you want to grow your business, it always comes during those times where we're uncomfortable because it stretches us and it causes us to learn. If you think about it, every time in your life that you've grown, it's because you were made to feel uncomfortable and stretched to learn to grow. Nothing comes easy. Some people, maybe it comes easy to them, but for most of us, we have to be stretched and challenged, and yet we grow. We get better and we get stronger every time we do. When people work out, that's what they do. They break down the muscle and then it grows back stronger. It's the same thing that you are doing right now in your business, because it is more than just you selling something to somebody, doing it and pocketing a few dollars. That's not why you built a business, because if you did, then you know what, you're looking at it all wrong. You've just created yourself a job. So if you get up every single day and all you do is book a job, do the job, put the money in your pocket, wake up, book a job, do a job, put the money in your pocket, and you do that over and over, that's just a job. Okay. The only difference is you now book the business. When you worked for someone else, they booked the business, you did the job, you took your paycheck home at the end of the day. So if you're just caught up in that cycle, that's all you've done is you've built a job for yourself. Okay. What you're doing with building a business is so that the business runs itself, so that whether you're by yourself or you have employees, that they're doing the job and you get to have that life that you've been wanting to create. See how it comes full circle? Okay, you need to stop working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. You need to work smarter, not harder. This is one reason why I say this on most of the things that I put out there about this whole concept that we have to work 50 million hours to make a great living. And there's going to be seasons in your life that you are working crazy long hours, no matter how good you are at your business. I'm doing that right now. I am crazy busy and I'm working tons of hours. But I also know that it's not going to be like this all the time. It's just that season where a lot of people come up, and I'm looking at putting some of the processes in place that I need so that next time this happens and I get this much business, I can farm off a lot of that and have these better systems in place. So this way, next year, at the same time, when it happens again, guess what? Something else has changed. Just like today, I do business different than I did a year ago. So last time I was crazy busy like this, guess what? I did less business than what I'm doing today. And I'm only able to take on all the business I have today and it feel comfortable because of what I learned last time I was this busy. You see how I'm saying? It's all about those steps. You get uncomfortable, you grow, you take a step up. You get uncomfortable, you grow, you take a step up. And that's what I want for you guys. Listen, there's never going to be enough time for you to work on your business. There's just not. You're going to have to carve out that time. And every time you put a process in place or a system in place, you manage to find yourself 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here. Guess what, folks? That all adds up. By you just carving out and making some tweaks within your business, next thing you know, you carve out a half hour. You carve out an hour. You carve out 2 hours. You start carving out time in your week. But the key is you've got to be working on your business and you just got to keep finding those times. But even better, every time you improve those systems and those processes and everything else, that's more money you put in your pocket. Okay. That's more money you put into the business. It's more money that you create. Your profits go up. And that's what it's all about. Okay. It's not just about you getting by. Okay. It's not just about the fact that, you know what, hey, I need $2,000 to survive a month or $3,000 to survive a month. I need a business that creates $2,000 or $3,000. No, that's not why you're doing it. That's a job. Okay. What you want to create is you want to still live off of $2,000 to $3,000, but you want your business to be making $5,000 or $7,000. So this way you have money to reinvest in the business, but you also can start investing in your future. You can start buying a house. You can start investing in the stock market if you want. You can have rental property if you want. That's what you're trying to create, is you're trying to create the gap between what you need to live, the $2,000 to $5,000, and the additional $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 that you want to be able to expand and grow your life. Isn't that what we're here for? All right. I know you're a badass and I know you know everything there is to know about your business, but I need you to knock that crap off. I need you to not be afraid to admit that you really don't know everything. And I really want you to seek additional knowledge. And I read something in the book that I want to read to you because it was a proverb. I have a saying that I've been saying for years, and let me do this first. I have a saying I've been saying for years. I read it. I was on a plane, and there was in the seat, back of the seat, there was a book, and it had a bunch of quotes from different people. And I read this one quote, and it just resonated with me so much at the time. And I have continued to say it forever and a day. And if you know me, I'm horrible at remembering certain things. So the fact that this has stuck with me through the years is really powerful to me. And that is, just because you know something, it doesn't mean you understand it. Just because you know something, it doesn't mean you understand it. And there's a lot of times when people go, I know. Okay, but why? Why are you doing it? Why is it important that you do it that way? That's where the difference comes in, is you know it, but do you really understand why you even need to do it? You know you need to know your numbers, but do you understand why you need to know your business numbers? Okay, when you're doing something in your business, you know you're supposed to hook this thingamajig to that thingamajig, but do you understand why? What happens is when we train people, we forget to tell them the why. We just tell them, attach A to attach to B and do it. Well, then they're sitting there going, why? You know, it's like kids. We want to know the why. Well, guess what? Your business is the same way. Just because you know how to do your business doesn't mean you understand it. Now, let me read this proverb, this Chinese proverb that he has in there. And because I really liked it, it's on the same wave. It says, when you hear something, you will forget it. When you see something, you will remember it. But it is not until you do something that you will understand it. When you hear something, you will forget it. When you see something, you will remember it. But it's not until you do something that you understand it. And that really ties in well to the whole combination of knowledge of what it is that you need to do and the fact that you need to carve out that time to just do it. It will become easier. You will understand the why behind it, and you will just thank yourself left and right that you finally spent the time to learn how to do something. And I'm telling you, I'm committed to this for you guys. I will continue to show up every single week here on the podcast and on the YouTube channel, and I will continue to share my knowledge to help you grow your business. And sorry, my text messaging going off like crazy right now. But I will continue to show up, and I will continue to be here for you guys because I'm excited. Oh my gosh. I am so excited by the things that you guys are out there creating. And when you reach out and you tell me where you were before and where you are today, or some of you reach out and you're just starting, or you're figuring things out and you're ready to work on your business, and then you check back in a year later and you tell me what you've done in the last year, it's like amazing. I do remember, believe it or not, I actually save these emails too, and I dump them in so that way I can go back and find the original email when you reached out, just so I can see where you were to where you are today. I find that fascinating and exciting, because just to know that I'm a small part of that journey, you're doing all the work. I'm just here to help be one of the many guides that you have along the way. And, it's fascinating to me. You guys are truly badasses, and I am so thankful to be part of that journey. And I hope that, by just us taking the time to go through the EMyth Revisited, and I'm sure there's some times when it was boring or it wasn't all that you wanted to hear, but I'm hoping that in each episode there was at least one little nugget you were able to take out to help you along your way with that journey. It really, truly is a great book. The EMyth Revisited by Michael Gerber. There's a link in the show notes. It's like $11 for the book. Just read for 5-10 minutes a day, one little section, let it sink in. Even if it takes you a month or two to read the book, I don't care. There's something in it, and just put it on your reading list every week. I mean, not every week. Sorry, that'd be crazy. Put it on your reading list for every year, and you're going to get something different out of it, because your business is going to be at a different place each and every time. You know what? Just highlight the sections you really like the first time you read through. If you only like 3 or 4 chapters, then read those 3 or 4 chapters again. It's not going to be for everybody, every little piece of it, but it's going to help challenge you. And that's what we're here to do. And I need to wrap this puppy up, but I am telling you, I am proud as heck of every single one of you guys. And I can't wait to see what we have in store over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. But for now, just get out there, be the badass that you're meant to be. Go take that business to the next level. Stop owning a job, start owning a business, get those processes in place, and let's go make some really good money, because you are worth it. You got into this because of what it is, the vision that you saw. Just go dust off that vision, and let's help get you going in the right direction. All right, with that, I'm out of here, and I will talk to you on the next episode. Bye for now. Hey, before you go, if you're looking to learn more about your business numbers, then check out the Know Your Business Numbers course, where we take a deeper dive into the key numbers, the calculations, the reports that will help you take your business to the next level. My mission is to help everyone love their business numbers. Yes, even including those of you that hate math. So much profit is hidden inside of your business numbers, and I want you to create some awesome profits. So check out the link in the show notes, or head on over to the knowyourbusinessnumberscourse.com. Once again, knowyourbusinessnumberscourse.com. Come join me. Let's go ahead and work on building your profits.